Hello and welcome all my Jeanies. I am so glad that all of you are here today. We are going to talk about my 2024 recap and look at my goals that I set up for this year. I'll let you know if I met them or not. So most of the goals that I have up here are for my writing, but since I've changed my channel to have some of my manifesting in there and how I use that in my life, I do have a couple of personal goals. I was going to keep that completely separate, and I thought, no, I think that would be good since I am talking about the manifesting a little bit. Before we get started, Lindy's coming to join us, but before I get started, I just want to say that I'm not doing this to brag about, oh, look at what all I got done this year, nor am I doing this to shame myself. I really like goal setting. I like forward thinking. I like to have tasks that I check off. And I do feel like this is a strong point of mine, that I'm able to take this big task and break it down so much that I know daily what I need to do in order to meet that goal. And this kind of started for me in high school. I do have and maybe in junior high also. It's kind of neat because my daughter, my oldest, is in the 8th grade. And I feel like that's when I was inspired to kind of have this do better mentality or improve in self-improvement. And I remember being at my friend Christine's house one day, and it was report card day, and she handed her mom her report card, and she had gotten straight A's, maybe 1B. And her mom was so proud of her, and she gave her a hug and told her how proud she was of her. And at that time in school, I wasn't the most scholarly kid up until that point. And I had been getting like B's and C's. And I thought, I can do that. I can get straight A's. And literally from then on, all through high school, I got straight A's. So it was just that little bit of a spark that, yes, you can do this because somebody your own age or a peer of yours is doing it also. So anyway, enough of story time. So I hope you can see this. I had to kind of angle it because there was a glare, and I went back and I was wanting to do this video, and I thought, how am I gonna know what my goals were? I wrote them down in my Oraline astrology planner. So I'm going to read off some of those. I put them up here. So the first one was to publish 3 books. At the beginning of the year, I knew I wanted to do my recovering project, which was the second one here. And just for you newbies out there, or anybody who hasn't heard, I had published a free story and 5 books. So I had 6 books out there at the beginning of 2024, and they weren't making very much traction. So I decided to take them all down and get a new cover artist and worked with this company called Camber Designs. It's Qamber. They're amazing. And I recovered all of my books. So I got that one done. We're just gonna check that off the list. And they all look amazing. I've so far come out with 3 books. So when I say publish 3 books, that's what I mean. So I did get that done. I got my free story, which is Winter in July. So if you're not a part of my newsletter, that's at ShelbyBooks.com. If you sign up, you get Winter in July. And then, I think my cat's helping me knock this over. Winter in July, and I have Welcome to Garden Valley is the second one, and then I have Coping with Yarn. And then I have another one coming out in January, so that will be on next year's. But I wanted to grow my community, and that for me, the platforms that I wanted to grow this on was on Instagram. I started off really wanting to grow that. And I did. I had some help early on in the year. I got that from almost 0, I want to say, to almost 2,000. And it's kind of been hovering around 2,000 for a couple of months now. And I'm kind of okay with that. I do like Instagram, but it doesn't really feel like my community. I'm learning as the year is wrapping up here that YouTube is kind of more of my community. So for my YouTube, I started my this year with about 75 subscribers, I think. And now, as of making this video, I have 175 with about 25 new subscribers just in the last 2 weeks. So I'm super excited about that. So thanks for being here. And then I also wanted to grow my newsletter. And at the beginning of 2024, I had about 130 subscribers, and now I'm up to about 350, and I'd like to credit that to my use with BookFunnel and having free promotions out there. So if you don't use BookFunnel and you're an author, go check it out because that one's really good. So I did grow my community, all that to say that. So my next one, read one book a month. I totally failed with this. I am so bad at reading other people's books. But that is going to be on my 2025 resolution list. My last one here with writing, it was not my last one by far, but this is the biggest, like my big points. Retake, Publish, and Thrive. I think I did that halfway. I think I got to the halfway point and I'm like, this is so, I love Publish and Thrive by Sarah Cannon. So I only got halfway through that. And then Sarah Cannon also has some other classes. My Path Forward is another class, and I have not gotten to that. And that's kind of it for my writing part. Now, that looks so simple, just having it like this, and I like that. I like the simplicity of that. I worked on my author business, career, writing almost every day in 2024, and I'm really proud of that. I'm proud that I've stuck with it, and it's still so much a passion of mine to get my writing out there. As for the rest of these are a little bit personal, but then I want to talk about why we're doing this. I have an exercise plan. I'm really into exercising and eating a really healthy diet. It was like swim 2 or 3 times a week, lift weights 2 or 3 times a week, and walk almost every day. I always have some parenting goals because I am a happy mom of 2 girls, and I'm always wanting to improve on my parenting and teach them what I can and have them follow in my footsteps with a lot of what I do. Daily gratitude and journaling, this goes with my spirituality, and I feel like I've done this pretty well. When I look back on my Oraline planner, I have most days filled in. I have a lot of writing in my planner. I'm looking at it right now. So I'm gonna cross that one off. And that gets us to why we're doing this. And as a part of manifesting, law of attraction, which mainly for me is bringing into your life what you want. So these are my goals, and these are what I want to bring into my life. So call it manifesting or law of attraction, law of assumption, whatever you want to call it, or just goal setting. It's all kind of the same thing. Like, these are your plans that you want to do. And on that note, you wouldn't be writing these down. I wouldn't be writing these down if you didn't think they could happen, or if you didn't want them to happen. Like, I fully think that I'm gonna grow my community, and I fully believe that I'm going to publish my 3 books. And whether or not it's manifesting and you call it that, I did it. And I think that writing it down kind of makes this contract with yourself, this contract, and putting it out there into the universe and for your guides to know that this is what I want. So having it written down, you see it, and then it's like written in your handwriting, meaning I'm going to do this. And I did a lot more than these this year. I was not planning on signing up with Booksprout, which is a review company. I wasn't planning on switching from MailChimp to MailerLite. I wasn't planning on a book signing this year, which was a big success in my world. I wasn't really planning on revamping my YouTube channel. It had kind of been just maybe getting 1 or 2 subscribers a month, and then I changed the direction of it a little bit to talk about manifesting in my life. And that was not in the plan, and nor was coming up with like 55 videos, which is on my list right now, and planning on uploading 2 videos a week. So that's a big success. This year I learned with the way that I'm planning, I did not do this SMART method, and I want to do that for next year to get better. And it's specific, measurable, attainable, what are the rest? Relevant and time board. And that for me means writing down numbers, writing down number goals, and really brainstorming the goal itself, and then having sub goals and some deadlines for myself. I feel like I just kind of threw out some goals that I wanted to achieve, and then just in my mind, I knew what I wanted to do and where I was, and made progress that way. So I do want to use this SMART method for 2025, which is going to be a future video coming up really soon. I'm going to do my next year's goals and my next year's vision board. This is this year's, so we'll get to that. The biggest thing this year is that I didn't give up. I didn't get a ton of book sales, and I'm still going forward. I'm still smiling. I still love writing and creating, and I feel like even though I know I gathered some Jeanies this year, thanks for being here, and I feel like this year was so important for me to have a base and a foundation for my books and my knowledge of some software programs, knowledge of YouTube, and of kind of social media in general. So it was such an important year for like my growth and my learning journey. And just to kind of finalize some things, I am so much less afraid, I guess I'll put it. I'm less afraid of putting myself out there. I'm less afraid of doing these videos, and sometimes I'm pausing while editing. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that expression. And I'm less afraid of putting my books out there and of getting negative comments, and what if that happens? I'm really proud of just my internal confidence this year, and that kind of trumps all of this, right? Like, just to feel good about where I'm at. And like I said, I feel like I have a great base, a great foundation to move into next year. And I'm just so excited for 2025 and to see what that brings me. I'm gonna continue on. My next year's goals are gonna be similar because that's who I am. I'm a writer, I'm a mom, and I work on so many different things and just love all of the things that I work on in my life. And I'm just gonna continue to go one day at a time and have my work and my tasks and go through everything. So thanks for joining me, and I hope you come back for my 2025 plan. Bye.